Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section. Guys, stay with me in this live section as I have a lot to tell you guys. And then if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, like, and drop a comment under the comment section. Let's talk about it. So guys, something shocking happened yesterday. Shettima is at war with Tinubu, and we are surprised that Shettima will speak the truth, or say the truth for the first time, guys. So let's talk about what happened. Shettima, for the first time, came out and said the truth. Guys, it's shocking to everyone because Shettima is one person that, me personally, I don't like his administration as a vice president. But yesterday, he shocked me personally. He came out and said the truth for the first time. So now, you guys know that Tinubu is planning to remove Fubara as the governor of Rivers State. And then in the law, in the constitution, Tinubu has no right, he has no power to do that. And it is surprising to me that Shettima will come out and say Tinubu has no power. It is surprising. For the first time, Shettima is saying the truth for the first time, is standing with the truth for the first time. Guys, take a look at this video.
In the last 4 years of the Jonathan administration, I was the most demonized person. I was the public enemy number one. And there are two gentlemen seated here. Certain decisions are taken in a very rare peace cycle. The president, the vice president, the Senate president, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. At one of such conclaves, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, with whom we have shared the sword and have now recalibrated our relationship, was mooting the idea of removing this Borno governor, and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, had the courage to tell the President that, Your Excellency, you don't have the power to remove an elected councillor. The President was still not convinced. He mooted the idea at the Federal Executive Council. I admire Mr. Mohammed Bello Adoke fundamentally for his courage and for his convictions and for his capacity to stand for what he believes in. He told the then president that, Mr. President, you do not have the power to remove a sitting governor, not even a councillor. They sought for the opinion of another SAN in the cabinet, Kabiru Turaki, who said, I am concurring with the opinion of my senior colleague. That was how the matter was laid to rest, but that was how my relationship with Mr. Bello Adoke and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal became eternally sealed. The former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairman of the occasion, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, ably represented by the former President of the Senate, Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, GCON. Former Senate President, who is conspicuously absent, he has left since then. My brother, the amiable Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, and the Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Comrade Joel Salifu. You have to be amiable because you are a bloody Deputy Governor, so. Members of the National Assembly present here, most especially Senator Aliu Ahmed Wadada, Chairman Senate Committee on Public Accounts, and Senator Kakasha Lawan, who succeeded me as the Senator for Borno Central. The Attorney General of the Federation, ably represented by the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mrs. Beatrice J.D. Akbar. I prepare to call it Beatrice. This is how we Northerners call it, Beatrice J.D. Akbar. The Ambassador of Italy to Nigeria.
So guys, you heard what Shettima said. In case you don't understand what that video mean or what happened in that video, let me just explain to you briefly what that video or what Shettima is talking about. Now, imagine President Tinubu sacked Fubara on the 18th of March 2025 because of the problem he has with Wike. That was why he sacked him, declared state of emergency in Rivers State, and also went ahead to stop the allocation coming to Rivers State. You can imagine that while in the constitution, Tinubu has no rights. Tinubu has no right at all to sack an elected governor of a state, not even the president, not even National Assembly. He doesn't even have right to sack a common councillor, not to talk of a governor. So you can see Shettima came out boldly to share his experience of what happened he came out boldly to share his experience of what happened in 2015 when Jonathan was still president. His story indirectly condemned what Tinubu did to Fubara. So on March 18th 2025, President Tinubu, according to reports by People's Gazette, removed Governor Sim Fubara of Rivers State. So an elected governor from the opposition. Many Nigerians were shocked because in Nigeria's democracy, the president does not have the legal power to sack an elected governor. Guys, you can see he doesn't have. Why is it that Nigeria claim that they are practicing democracy? But no, they are not practicing democracy. How can the constitution be saying something and they are doing another thing? How can Tinubu wake up one morning and just sack Fubara when he's going against the constitution? And these people, they're not realized. They know that they're going. See, for Shettima to come out and say that what Tinubu did was wrong, that means these people know the law. You can't tell me that the president doesn't know the law. He knows the law, but they choose to do what they want to do, making the constitution look like pepper, just mere pepper. How can the constitution be saying something and the president, after he will preach obey rule of law, obey the constitution? How can the president be going after the constitution? If the president goes after doesn't do what the constitution says, then is it the citizens that will now obey the constitution? On March 18th, 2025, President Tinubu, according to reports of People's Gazette, removed Governor Sim Fubara of Rivers State, an elected governor from the opposition. Many Nigerians were so shocked. Why? Because in Nigeria's democracy, the president do not have the legal power to sack an elected governor. Despite this, the National Assembly, which should act as a check on the president, quickly approved this removal. Report says lawmakers allegedly received cash bribes to rubber stamp the president's action. Imagine if the National Assembly actually concurred to this corruption, to this lawlessness. They concurred and allegedly said they actually collected bribe to rubber stamp the president's action. You can imagine that we have people that even make law, lawmakers, people that make law. Because of money, they are the ones that even the law they make, they are the same breakers of this law, the same people that break this law. Despite all this, the National Assembly, that should be acting as a check on the president, quickly approved this removal, and then report says that lawmakers allegedly received cash bribes to rubber stamp the president's action. Since then, a retired military general has been ruling Rivers State in Fubara's place, an action many see as a return to military-style governance in a democracy. Guys, you can see that since then, he's a military man. After they sacked Fubara, how can a military man, a retired military man, be governing Rivers State? Did they vote for him? What kind of ground style of governance is this? Is this military takeover? What kind of country is this that is so lawless? For months, Vice President Shettima stayed silent. Now, we were so surprised to see that Shettima, you guys know that Shettima actually is complicit to the problems of Nigeria, because we cannot have him as the vice president and then insecurity is at maximum, hunger is at maximum, starvation and everything. People are dying. Everybody was shocked that Shettima came out to now explain the story of what happened with him and Jonathan. When Jonathan, this his story is like indirectly saying what Tinubu did was very wrong, that he has no power to what's it called, to sack Governor Fubara. Now he shared his experience. He said that when Jonathan was still the the president then in Nigeria, he wanted to remove northeast governors because of the Boko Haram crisis. And then some people helped him. Some people helped him, like Anthony Bello Adoke helped him to talk to Jonathan to tell him that he has no right to do that. Imagine if Jonathan's plot to do that, he did not even do it. He did not dare to do it. It's now what Tinubu is doing now. Jonathan's plot to remove governor in his time failed. Now, in this administration, Tinubu is doing it, something that is against the law. For months, Vice President Kashim Shettima stayed silent, but at a book launch for former Attorney General Bello Adoke in Abuja, he finally spoke out, indirectly but powerful. He reminded everyone of his own experience as a governor of Borno State back in 2013. Back then, ex-president Goodluck Jonathan reportedly wanted to remove Shettima and other governors in the Northeast because of the Boko Haram crisis. Now, Shettima said it was the then Speaker of the House, Aminu Tambuwal, who boldly told Jonathan, "Mr. President, you don't even have the power to remove an elected councillor." Bello Adoke, the then Attorney General, also told Jonathan that removing governors was unconstitutional. Another senior advocate of Nigeria, Kabiru Turaki, agreed. Shettima used this story to send a clear message: no president has the power to remove a sitting governor. Not Jonathan, not Tinubu, nobody. Imagine, what Jonathan did not do there is what Tinubu is now doing now, something that is against the constitution. Imagine all this thing is happening in this country, insecurity in Rivers State. Look at last time, bandits attacked Ogoni people of Rivers State. Attacked them. What did Tinubu say? He did not say anything. But when it comes to power, when it comes to political talks, when power is at stake, when political ambition is at stake, you will see him act fast. Leaving what he's supposed to do, even when he claims he's the chief of armed force, guys. But still, security is at maximum. Look at the insecurity happening even in Benue State, Elewata. He's not saying anything towards it. Imagine, I am so shocked that another attack happened in Elewata again. After the one that claimed 200 lives, another one happened. So where's the military men that Tinubu deployed to Yelewata? Where are they? Where are they? Our soldiers are being killed. Yet they roll out, they say they don't have weapons. Yet Tinubu's government roll out billions for security purpose every year. Can you imagine what is happening? The kind of corrupt personnel we have up there. That is why Nigeria can never be better. So now, look at why Shettima's statement is a big statement. Remember I said that Shettima actually shared his story of when he was the governor of, what he said in this Adoke book launch, in the book launch, the conference that happened in Abuja. The story that he came out to share. I'll still play that video for you guys. The story that he came out to share, actually indirectly, he condemned what Tinubu did. He condemned it. So now he said, let me repeat that story. He said that when he was the governor of Borno State, that Goodluck Jonathan, he was the president then, that he wanted to remove him and other Northeast governors as at then. So some officials now came and advised Jonathan, telling him that he has no power to do that. And then Jonathan's plot failed. So now, why is Tinubu now sacking or removing an elected governor of his state? Why? When in the law, it's against it. So why is Shettima's statement a very big deal? Now, let me tell you something. Number one, it openly questions President Bola Tinubu's action as the vice president. Shettima is the president number 2. So disagreeing publicly means there's a deep tension at the top. Number 2, it exposes the danger of ignoring the constitution. The Nigerian constitution clearly says only a valid impeachment process through the constitution clearly says only a valid impeachment process through the state House of Assembly and the court can remove a governor. Not even the National Assembly or the president can do it alone. This is what the constitution, not them. The courts have to agree, but then we are hearing allegedly that the lawmakers, National Assembly actually received bribe to approve Tinubu's action. If we how long would these people keep bribing people? Would things get better if they keep bribing people in this country? Would things get better? Imagine what we are facing every time. Bribe, election. When the times for election, they will bribe. How long do we continue like this? Is this the kind of country we wished for? It exposes the danger of ignoring the constitution. It exposes the danger of ignoring the constitution. The Nigerian constitution clearly states that a valid impeachment process through the state house of assembly and the court can remove a governor. Not even the national assembly or the president can do it alone. Number two is that it shows cracks in the ruling party. Imagine what this APC is doing to us. This APC again. All the things they have been doing to us, and they are known for going against the law, doing things otherwise. They don't follow. Once the constitution is against their favor or is going out of their favor, they will just shift the constitution one side and do what is their mind. When it comes to jailing somebody now, they'll read out the constitution for you. It shows cracks in the ruling party. Recently, Tinubu's loyalists endorsed him for a second term in 2027. Why would Tinubu even think of coming out in 2027 after after his bad leadership? Why will he even think of coming out for the second time? Why? Have we not had enough? Have we not had enough of this trauma? Have we not had enough? What have we done to you? Have we not had enough? But they did not automatically endorse Shettima as a running mate. Again, that's unusual. People are saying that Tinubu is actually wants to come out for 2027, but Shettima is no more his running mate. Shettima is not going to be his running mate again. People are saying that is unusual, and it suggests that there is a cold war between two of them, two of the top men. This is what people are saying. This drama is about more than just Fubara or Rivers State. It's about whether Nigeria is truly practicing democracy or just pretending. They say that they are practicing democracy. I don't see the democracy they are practicing. How will you know a country that is practicing democracy? How will you know a country that is following the rules and regulation, that is practicing democracy? This drama is about more than just Fubara or Rivers State. It's about whether Nigeria is truly practicing democracy or just pretending. When a president can wake up and remove an elected governor, democracy is in danger. The constitution becomes just a paper. It just becomes a paper. The APC has just made our constitution look like mere paper. They don't follow it. The only time they follow the constitution is when it's in their favor. When the constitution is in their favor at that time. But once it's against their favor, they just ignore it, making it look like just mere paper. But after they will preach, obey the rule of law, obey the constitution. It's also about whether institutions like the National Assembly are strong enough to say no to unconstitutional acts. If lawmakers can bribe to endorse illegal move, then who will protect the people's vote? Voting doesn't make sense, election doesn't make sense. And it's about loyalty. Shettima is reminding Tinubu that, and everyone else, that he has power and principle. He wants to protect his own political future. Now, for Shettima to come out and say this thing about Tinubu, or come out and indirectly say that Tinubu has no power to impeach Governor Fubara, that means they know the constitution. And people are saying, why is Shettima coming out now to say the truth? Like this thing surprised us. So for the first time, Shettima is saying the truth, like coming out to stand by the truth, saying that, in the constitution, that Tinubu has no right to impeach or to to remove Fubara. Shettima, and people were shocked for the first time. Shettima is saying the truth for the first time. it shocked many Nigerians. People are saying, oh, that he's coming out, because maybe he has a beef with Tinubu. Because in this 2027, they are not smashed for, he's not his Tinubu is not, or Shettima is not his running mate. So people are sensing that there is problem. Oh, you can see that for him to come out and say this thing, that means Tinubu knows the law and him also knows the law, because you guys know that Shettima is like one person that people always criticize because he's part of Tinubu's government, and then Tinubu's government have not profited anything. It only brings bad luck, and so people are take a look at what this man said, or take a look at what Shettima said. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section, guys. Stay with me in this live section as I have a lot to tell you guys. And then if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, like, and drop a comment under the comment section. Let's talk about it. So guys, something shocking happened yesterday. Shettima is at war with Tinubu, and we are surprised that Shettima will speak the truth, or say the truth for the first time, guys. So let's talk about what happened. Shettima, for the first time, came out and said the truth. Guys, it's shocking to everyone because Shettima is one person that, me personally, I don't like his administration as a vice president. But yesterday, he shocked me personally. He came out and said the truth for the first time. So now, you guys know that Tinubu is planning to remove Fubara as the governor of Rivers State. And then in the law, in the constitution, Tinubu has no right, he has no power to do that. And it is surprising to me that Shettima will come out and say Tinubu has no power. It is surprising. For the first time, Shettima is saying the truth for the first time, is standing with the truth for the first time. Guys, take a look at this video.
In the last 4 years of the Jonathan administration, I was the most demonized person. I was the public enemy number one. And there are two gentlemen seated here. Certain decisions are taken in a very rare peace cycle. The president, the vice president, the Senate president, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. At one of such conclaves, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, with whom we have shared the sword and have now recalibrated our relationship, was mooting the idea of removing this Borno governor, and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, had the courage to tell the President that, Your Excellency, you don't have the power to remove an elected councillor. The President was still not convinced. He mooted the idea at the Federal Executive Council. I admire Mr. Mohammed Bello Adoke fundamentally for his courage and for his convictions and for his capacity to stand for what he believes in. He told the then president that, Mr. President, you do not have the power to remove a sitting governor, not even a councillor. They sought for the opinion of another SAN in the cabinet, Kabiru Turaki, who said, I am concurring with the opinion of my senior colleague. That was how the matter was laid to rest, but that was how my relationship with Mr. Bello Adoke and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal became eternally sealed. The former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairman of the occasion, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, ably represented by the former President of the Senate, Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, GCON. Former Senate President, who is conspicuously absent, he has left since then. My brother, the amiable Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, and the Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Comrade Joel Salifu. You have to be amiable because you are a bloody Deputy Governor, so... Members of the National Assembly present here, most especially Senator Aliu Ahmed Wadada, Chairman Senate Committee on Public Accounts, and Senator Kakasha Lawan, who succeeded me as the Senator for Borno Central. The Attorney General of the Federation, ably represented by the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mrs. Beatrice J.D. Akbar. I prepare to call it Beatrice. This is how we Northerners call it, Beatrice J.D. Akbar. The Ambassador of Italy to Nigeria.
So guys, you heard what Shettima said. See, let me tell you, Shettima was indirectly, although he was, talking about his experience when he was the governor of Borno State, that during that time, Goodluck Jonathan wanted to remove him as governor and others, because of the Boko Haram crisis. And then Bello Adoke, stood by him and stood by the truth, saying that the president, Goodluck Jonathan, has no right to do that. Not even, like, he doesn't even have right to remove a councillor, not to talk of a governor. And then you can see that he has come here to also say that the president has no right, no matter what, because that's what the law says. So why did Tinubu go ahead to remove Governor Fubara? You have seen that Shettima has come out indirectly to say this to Tinubu indirectly. You can see that these people know the law. They know the law. This drama is about more than just Fubara or River State. It's about whether Nigeria is truly practicing democracy or just pretending. When the president can wake up and remove an elected governor, democracy is in danger. The constitution becomes just paper. It's also about whether institutions like the National Assembly are strong enough to say no to unconstitutional acts. If lawmakers can be bribed, guys, to endorse illegal moves, then who will protect the people's vote? Who? Everything is about corruption now. Everything is about bribing. If lawmakers can be bribed to endorse illegal moves, then who will protect the people's vote? And it's about loyalty. Shettima is reminding Tinubu and everyone else that he too has power and principles. Yes. So now, what will happen next? Will Governor Fubara be restored? Will the court intervene? Will the National Assembly admit wrongdoing? And how will Tinubu react to this Shettima's disapproval? This is going to break alliance that brought them in power, I believe. So Nigerians are actually watching, and so it is the world, and so is the world too. The next few weeks will show the rule of law still means anything to us. Now, let's talk about the double stance in this Tinubu's regime. The double stand. Me and you know that when it comes to insecurity in River State, even in other states, Tinubu is so calm, dragging his feet to take action. But when it comes to Wike and Fubara, why is he so interested in in politics? Why is he interested in River State? Why is he so interested in River State? I want to ask myself, let me tell you something. I feel it's because of the River State is rich in oil. That is why it's interesting, because tell me why Wike and Fubara's beef is going to bring to stopping allocation in River State. Why would that happen at first? Why will it lead to state of emergency? Why will it lead to it? It is not worth it. People that are killing people here and then, they have not even declared anything. They have not caught them, or even when they catch them, what's it called? They rehab them. That's just it. But when it comes to River State, you see, when it comes to bad guys attacking River State, you will see they will be slow to take action. The last thing that happened in River State was Ogoni attack in River State. What did Tinubu say about it? Nothing. Did not say anything about it. That's to tell you the kind of country we are in. They're after their political ambition. That is just it. They don't care about the poor masses. They don't care at all. Now let's talk about the most interesting, troubling part of this whole drama: the clear double standard. The president has been mostly silent or very slow to act on growing insecurity in Rivers State and in other states across Nigeria. We have seen deadly court clashes in River and political violence, even kidnapping, unknown bad guys, bandits, and all of them intervening with the same urgency. Security is one area where the president actually have rights, powers, constitutional rights. He is the commander-in-chief of armed force, so he has a right. It is his duty to protect lives and property in every state when local security fails. But instead of using that power to restore security in Rivers State, Tinubu choose to do something that Constitution does not allow: removing an elected governor. This exposes the real motives. It's not about protecting Rivers people. It's about political control. When people are being killed or kidnapped, when people are being killed or kidnapped, the president drags his feet. He's slow to respond. He doesn't even talk at all. He's just silent. But he can travel outside and he can immediately declare state of emergency in Rivers State when it comes to PK and Fubara's beef. You can see when people are being killed, kidnapped, the president drags his feet. But when an opposition governor refuses to bow to Lagos power brokers, the president moves swiftly by passing the law. Because Fubara has said he's not going to be part, he's not going to be a puppet. He's not going to answer yes sir, yes sir. When they tell him to do this, you say yes, do this. He has vowed that he will never be a puppet. That is why you see they are removing him, even when they by passing the law, even when the constitution said the president has no right to do that or has no power to do that. You will see Tinubu doing it because Fubara has said he will not, be a puppet. That's to tell you. So the very question every Nigerian is asking is, if the president can act so fast to remove Fubara, why can't he act just as fast to remove armed criminals terrorizing River State or in other states? Why? Why does political survival matter more than people's safety? Why? These are the questions Nigerians are asking. If President Bola Tinubu can act so fast to remove Fubara, why can't he act fast also to remove armed criminals terrorizing Nigeria? Because he claims he's the chief of or whatever was the commander-in-chief of armed force. That's what he claims he is. But still, security is at maximum. People are dying almost every day. People are asking why does political survival matter more than people's safety? It is the duty of the president to protect life and property, but in Nigeria, the president doesn't care if you're dying today or tomorrow. This is the hypocrisy. This is the hypocrisy that VP Shettima's statement exposes. It's not just about Fubara, it's about using federal power when it suits political interests. That is just it. But ignoring people's real suffering. They will use the constitution when it's in their favor. But when it's not in their favor, they will shift to one side. The constitution has said that the president has no power, has no right to remove a sitting governor. But yet, Tinubu still went against the law, against the constitution, and tomorrow he will start preaching obey the rule of law. Imagine the kind of country we are, very lawless country. This is a double standard. This double standard is very, very dangerous. It means leaders can pick and choose when to obey the constitution and when to ignore it. If they can do it in Rivers State today, they can do it anywhere tomorrow. They can do it in Edo State, they can do it in Benue, they can do it in Zamfara. No state is safe from political interference if this continues unchecked. That is just it. This is why Shettima's message matters. He's reminding Tinubu and all of us that no one is above the law, not even the president. And until Nigerians demand that same urgency in tackling insecurity as they do in plain politics, then the people will always suffer while politicians trade blow at the top. That is just it. Nigeria's constitution is clear, very clear. No section gives the president power to sack a sitting governor. No section. The National Assembly has no constitutional rights to rub stamp an illegal removal either. Their role is not to impeach the state governor. Their role is to help, look at the insecurity happening all over the country. What are they doing? They only sit down there collecting millions every month. That is what they do, parading themselves, claiming they are senators. It is better that we don't have senators than we have senators, and all this thing is happening in this country. So what is their job then? What are they now doing in that place? National, what are they doing? To collect bribes? Is it to allegedly collect bribes and what's it called, and go against the constitution? The same law they make. Removing a governor this way sets a dangerous precedent that could destroy the principle of federalism. If allowed to stand, if this decision is allowed to stand, any president can remove any governor who refuses to obey him. Fubara's removal determines the principle that power belongs to the people, not politicians. The Supreme Court could still intervene if matters is properly brought before it. So why is it that the Supreme Court is so dull in interfering? Why? Or intervening? Why? Because they have bought them. That is why you see Wike building houses for judges and coming out to say that our judges need house, this, that. What about the poor masses? You displace poor masses, and then you build house for judges that are collecting salary. How is this like? What will you say about this? They have put judiciary inside their pockets, setting them for 2027. Fubara's removal undermines the principle that power belongs to the people, not politicians. Rivers people voted for Fubara, not a military general. It is surprising that right now a military general is the one governing Rivers State now in Fubara's place, guys. Is him that is a retired military general is the one that is governing Rivers State. What kind of country is this? Rivers people voted for Fubara, not a military general. This is a direct disrespect to voters' choice. People will not value voting again. Shettima's statement hints that there are leaders who still want to defend constitutional democracy despite being inside government. People are also saying that Shettima is saying this so that people will stand with him in 2027. Tinubu's silence on court killing and even kidnapping going on in Rivers State shows where his priority lies: power over security. That's just it. When insecurity benefits politicians, they often look the other way. But when they act fast is when power is at stake. When they walk fast is when, okay, power is at stake. But when it goes against them, or when constitution goes against them, they don't even they do go against the constitution. That's just it. Fubara's troubles began when he refused to be a puppet for powerful Abuja politicians. Let me tell you, Fubara said he's not going to be a puppet. Is it because Wike is his godfather? Why is Wike even disturbing this man? Why? Is he the governor of Rivers State? Allow this man to govern Rivers State. Because Fubara has refused to obey what they are doing. That is why, you see them, trying to frustrate his life by removing him as a governor. What has Fubara done? All these bad guys that are killing people, is it no more like they will not go after them, but they'll go after innocent people? Because Fubara has vowed not to be a puppet. That's why they're after him. Fubara's trouble began when he refused to be a puppet for powerful Abuja politicians. Rivers has always been a political battlefield because of its oil wealth. That is what I feel. That is why Tinubu and Wike is after Rivers State. I feel because of the oil in Rivers State. Once you control Rivers State, you will control billions. Fubara's removal could deepen oil bunkering as political godfathers struggle for control. Many river youths feel abandoned and could become more radicalized if they see democracy is failing. If Tinubu removes an opposition governor today, he could remove an APC governor tomorrow. No one is safe, I'm telling you. No one is safe. With all the insecurity happening in Rivers State and even in other states, Tinubu is slow to act. But when it comes to Rivers State, you see him fast to act. This is to tell you that there is something that there are hidden truths in this Rivers State crisis. There are hidden truths for Tinubu to declare state of emergency on ordinary issue like this, and also to stop allocation. Do you know what it means to stop allocation? Do you know what that means? For these things to happen, that means that these people are after something. They're not just after they're after something. That is why they are doing all these things. Look at the insecurity going on here and there. Even a man had to come out to say that the North is the problem of Nigeria. The North is the problem of Nigeria. The North. Look at what is happening. Boko Haram here and there, insecurity here and there. But Tinubu has refused. The North. That is why we don't want Northerners to lead us again. Take a look at what this man says, saying that the North is the problem of Nigeria. Take a look.
All of us, including my humble self standing here, all the politicians in Northern Nigeria, in the last 15 years, we should be held accountable to what is happening in Northern Nigeria in terms of poverty, unemployment, lack of education, lack of security. As of 2016, some of us that live here in Kaduna, and Northwest in particular, were not aware of anything called banditry, kidnappings, or insurgency. If there's anybody here who is aware of that, can also attest to the fact that as of 2016, not 2019, 16, there was nothing like kidnappings even in Benogwari. I can tell you that for a fact. What went wrong?
Come, let me tell you the major problem of Nigeria. The major problem of Nigeria is northern part of the country. Northern Nigeria are the major problem of Nigeria. If you want to see conflict, northern Nigeria. Rape, northern Nigeria. Refugees, northern Nigeria. Thieves. In fact, if you want to see thieves stealing on an industrial scale, come to northern Nigeria. Thieves fully engaged in primitive accumulation, come to northern Nigeria. In fact, I am from northern Nigeria. I am proud to be an indigenous of Borno State. I am from Borno State. I am proud to be an indigenous of Borno State, from the northern part of the country. But I want to tell you that the major problem of this country is northern part of the country. These are people, if you want to see hatred, if you want to see conflict, if you want to see nepotism, cronyism, any other thing you can label. In fact, if you carve out southern part of the country from Nigeria and give it 10 years, they are going to be recognized among community of nations because of the development they will have. 70% of the people who govern this country are from the northern part of the country. But if you want to see hunger, starvation, and any other thing, it's from the north. Why? We are the major problem. But our people doesn't want us to be speaking the truth. And that is why we continue to somersault in this kind of issue.
We have had a northern president from Katsina for 8 years. Before he came, we did not have a single IDP. All our local governments were safe. Now Katsina State, 22 out of 34 local governments. That is 65% of Katsina. It's under siege. Borno State is more secure and safer than Katsina. That we had a president who is from there. That is a failing of us northerners. We need to look at ourselves. And now here we are. We have a leadership. We have a vice president number 2 who is from the north. We have a speaker of the house who is number 4 who is from the north. We have an SGF who is from the north. We have the senior most military officer who is from the north. We have all the ministers of defense from the north. We have the minister of police from the north. We have the national security advisor from the north. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will look at us and say, you guys have no excuse not to bring peace to your land. So it is up to us to look at ourselves in the mirror, we northerners, especially those in government, and lock the door and say, people, how do we take care of these problems? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the southwest cannot come and bring peace to us. It is us that must bring peace to ourselves. And it is not the military that will bring peace. I've said it again and again, banditry can never be won on the battlefield. We're just putting the military to clean up after this mess. They're everywhere. So northern leadership, all of us, must come in, lock the door and sit down and see how we can bring peace to our land. 15 years of Boko Haram, 9 years of banditry. Are we going to continue this forever? I have friends in the United States calling me and say, did you see the primary school where these kids were taken? Blown roof, nothing there. Well, this is the leadership of the North that fuels all of this. And we're looking elsewhere, we're blaming somebody else. No. Leaders of the North, those in government and out of government, it's time for us to look ourselves in the face and say, we have failed our people, we need to do better. The military cannot bring peace to ourselves. None. We must all get involved and stop this nonsense, this Boko Haram, this banditry.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to be rude to anybody, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, and I don't want to insult anybody. What I'm saying is that is the real truth. The real truth, the real problem of Nigeria, are Northerners. Northerners, Fulani, Hausa are the problem of Nigeria. They don't want our Nigerian progress. If they are not the one in power, then nobody can do it. It's only them that can do it. If you say you deprive Igbo people from having what is supposed to be theirs, allow them to go for their Biafra. If you say Yoruba people are not competent, they cannot rule Nigeria, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, should just stay and rule ourselves.
So guys, you can see that the North, majorly APC people, they are the problem that we have in this country. Tell me why ever since we have APC leading us, or Northerners, because if you go to government, you mostly see Northerners ruling us. Tell me why Tinubu, knowing fully well what the law says, we wake up one morning and then sack Fubara. How? That's to tell you how lawless Nigeria is. How lawless they are. See, Nigeria will never get better until they is what's it called? Unseat these Northerners in how they're actually good Northerners, but there are just some Northerners that are the one that are making life unbearable for citizens in this country. That is why they are forming coalition to unseat Tinubu and others. People have said that you see the North, they are the ones, like especially APC, because you mostly see these Northerners in APC and political party. They're the ones, ever since we have them, they're the ones that are doing this thing to us in this country. So Shettima has come out to say that no president has the right to unseat a sitting governor. They know the truth. So guys, drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this headline. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and share this video. We've come to the end of this live section. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.